What's up YouTube, it's Ben, and in this video, I just want to get real with you and tell you exactly how much you can expect to make in recruiting. Okay, so first off, I want to get a few falsehoods out of the way just so that we can get these off the plate. Number one, there is nothing on planet Earth that you can actually consider get rich quick or get rich overnight. That especially applies to recruiting and staffing, so if you're getting into this business because you want to be a millionaire in a few weeks, definitely look elsewhere or go start playing the lottery. The real truth is that recruiting and staffing is all about hard work, consistency, and motivation. Now, if you can master those traits, you can become rich in recruiting. It's just not going to be instant. So follow me to the end of this video so I can explain to you exactly how much you can expect to make in recruiting and staffing, all the way from startup to scale.
Okay.
Before I jump into those numbers, I also want to make sure that you're already in our Facebook group, Recruiter Empire, link in description of this video. You'll like it there. All right, so let's talk real numbers now. Let's start from the bottom up. When you are a startup recruiter, there are a few factors that will go directly proportional with exactly how much you will make. Number one is how much emphasis are you putting into the business? This means how much energy, focus, and attention, time, dedication, all that kind of stuff. How much emphasis are you actually putting into the business when you start it up? Number two would be how much do you already know about recruiting and staffing? If it's nothing, then you're probably going to spend a lot of months to a year getting to your first deal even, or just getting off the ground. And of course, number three, just like what I talked about before, is do you actually have the work ethic, the consistency, and the motivation to actually take this thing the distance? All of those three key elements right there are directly proportional to how many contracts that you'll get first when you're a startup recruiter. So let's say that you're around a 5 out of 10 on everything I mentioned earlier as far as all of those attributes. You can probably expect to make about 10K a month on about 1 or 2 contracts per month if you have those attributes, that again being a 5 out of 10 on what I mentioned. Now, if you're more like a 10 out of 10 and you have all those attributes like down pat, motivation, skills, you know a lot about recruiting already, and you're super good with your work ethic, you can probably expect to smash 20K a month on maybe 3 or 4 contracts in your first month. So all in all, I would say at startup level in recruiting and staffing, you can expect to make anywhere between 10 to 20K per month, and that would probably go on for a period of maybe 3-4 months. With that being said, recruiting is not linear, right? It is progressive, meaning if you look at a chart, it should be going upwards as you grow the business and as you learn more and as you get more contracts, more deals, more placements, and more revenue. Now, the amount of time that it takes to jump from that 10 to 20K a month to 30 to 40K a month really depends on the next 3 set of factors. Number one would be, are you learning as you grow your business, or are you just kind of rinsing and repeating and doing the same thing over and over again and not really growing? Number two would be, are you just working in one niche, one space, or are you expanding into multiple industries? And the third element would be, are you reinvesting into your business as you gain revenue? Again, all 3 of these factors, just like at startup level, are going to determine exactly how long it takes you to get to mid-tier level, which is 30 to 40K per month. Now, for some people, that could be 6 months. Other people, that could be 1 year. It really depends on how bad you want it and if you're actually doing whatever it takes to get there. Yup! Now, once you're actually at 30 to 40K per month, you're going to run into some issues or opportunities, as I like to call them. You see, at this point, you're running into scale territory. This is scale level, meaning you sort of reached a peak, right? A point at which you're basically going to the top. Like you're ultimately going to hit a number at which you're like, okay, this is really, really cool. I'm going to be able to make a lot of money. I just need to make a few tweaks to my business. Let's talk about exactly how that works. Pretty much what I'm saying is that your revenue now is not dependent anymore upon your abilities or your skills. You've already proven those out. You've already done 10 to 20K, 30 to 40K a month. All that's good. But at this point, we're looking at 70 to 100K a month. And that is not dependent on skill or ability. It's dependent upon your time. Now, this is exactly the point at which really successful recruiters bring in offshore virtual assistants or onshore recruiters to work right alongside with them to help them inch up into that territory of 70 to 100K a month. Now, here's one key element about this, and I mentioned this in a previous YouTube video about going to 0 to get to $1 million, right? So you're gonna take a dip. This is all about reinvesting back into your business so that you can grow higher. You will take a dip on the scale, right? The chart's gonna go down a little bit, but it's gonna go back up real fast.
Okay.
At this point, your capacity to make $1 million a year becomes exponential once you have that right team around you. I definitely want to make sure that everyone's understanding these numbers, assuming all things being equal, and that you're putting the absolute most capacity and ability into the business, and you're doing everything it takes to get to yourself to these numbers. If you are doing that, these revenue numbers are 100% plausible. So to give you an actual idea time-wise on exactly how things are going to pan out, startup level looks at about 3 to 4 months to get you from 10 to 20K a month to 30 to 40K a month. From that point forward, it's going to take approximately a year or so after that to get to that run rate of 70 to 100K a month.
Okay.
Now, all the growth beyond that is completely up to you and your team and your scale and whatever you do to reinvest into the business and how you pivot and whatever you want to do from there. It's completely up to you. There is no cap in recruiting, just depends on where you want to go, where you're comfortable, and when you want to stop. All right, so I hope this video was valuable for you. If it was, please go ahead and smash that like button. Also, be sure that you're in our Facebook group, Recruiter Empire, link in description of this video. I'll see you next time.